I swear I'll get it one of these days. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wireheads podcast. I am Diamond Dust, a net running VTuber on the internet, and also a professional game master as well. And this is my co-host.
Hello, I'm Emmerron. I'm vibing to Carl Casey right now, and it's great. I also am a professional game master on StartPlaying. I just finished up a gig today. We just started Reaping the Reaper. And that is going swimmingly so far, despite the fact that the opening was Diamond's character and everyone mourning her because she died last session. So it was great. But yeah, I also do content here on Twitch. Those of you watching on Spotify, we are also both on YouTube. And I just wrapped up Neon Inferno this Monday, so for season 2 at least. So for now, it's going to be weird for the next couple weeks because I don't have a stratified scheduled Monday thing. This week though, I'm probably going to appreciate having the day off, unless one of my StartPlaying gigs decides to meet that day as like an off day thing, because I can't do Friday like I normally could. So that's my problem though. Hello everyone, welcome in. We are so excited to be here with you today. On our 30th episode. This is crazy to me that we're on episode 30 already. That's kind of insane. Kind of fucking insane. But yeah, welcome in everybody.
I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, okay, but what, like, you know, I was sitting here thinking about all that, and it's just like Emmerron wrapping up Neon Inferno. And for anybody who watches Black Spark, which is my stream on Wednesdays, we had some very big gnarly encounters here, and I thought, you know what, let's finally talk about it: bosses and their uses. So, what defines a boss level character? Well, if we would like, we could start off with like one of the best resources for that, and that is DangerGal.ca with the NPC creation guidelines and some of the things that help clarify what bosses are. Now, when I'm talking about bosses, I'm not talking about mini bosses. I'm talking about bosses. So, bosses, if we had to look at them by the number, they are going to have, and I'm not going to give specifics because, you know, go get the book if you want the specifics. They have a number of stat points over. They have over 50. They have over 50 stat points, and they can have any of their stats could be a max of 8.
Yeah. Well, they're also, the way I think about bosses, the really simple way to think about a boss, right? And again, highly encourage you guys to go out and get DangerGal.ca. The digital of it is like, what is it, $30, I think?
$20.
20 bucks, even cheaper. So get it. It's very useful if you're a GM and you're asking the question of how do I make enemies for my campaign? It literally has a guide in the back for doing it. It's like your favorite thing in the world. This book is like actually incredible. Blatant advertisement aside, what I will say is this: bosses are the one type of enemy that you do not worry about budgets for effectively. Like, you just don't worry about a budget at all. They are the thing that should be scary as fuck. Any of you who own the Edgerunner Mission Kit, look at Adam Smasher. Admittedly, he's on the extreme end of boss stat blocks. Like, he is not emblematic of like what a typical boss is. For that, refer to the Cyber Psycho in the core rulebook. That is the quintessential boss that we've been given. But if you look at what that is, you'll get a rough idea of like what a combat-oriented boss would be, and kind of the rough number of, I would say, stat and skill points that a enemy like that should have if you don't already own DangerGal.ca. But that said, yeah, bosses is like, you've got a roll rank of like 6 or higher usually. and you don't worry about budgets for the most part as far as their gear and cyberware is concerned. That's like the really down dirty simple way to describe a boss in without going into the super strict guidelines, and they are guidelines, as the book will remind you, for making one per Danger Girl dossier.
And then for the hardened variant, usually hardens are like what they mark in here is they're likely cyber psycho with an empathy of 0 if they have more than 30 pieces of cyberware in them. But they also might have roll ability of up to rank 8. They have as we look at bosses, not all bosses are going to be the absolute meat murder wall of death. However, for starts, we go all the way back to ye olden days when the core rule book came out. And we take a look at the original Cyber Psycho. So, the original Cyber Psycho, just to give you an idea, comes in a nice whopping 55 hit points, has, subdermal armor, they can dodge bullets, and they're just fucking covered in weapons.
Yep.
And
they're the OG Porkies.
Yeah.
Except their guns aren't sticking out everywhere. They've actually got them embedded in their arms and shit. It's terrifying.
And in their esophagus, even.
Yeah. Hashtag cyber snakes are real.
Cyber snakes are great. So with with the base Cyber Psycho, this one could be used like as is. It could be used as is. But it is also like this is like the basic chassis with the default loadout on it. You could put other things on here. You could give them other shit. I've given a Cyber Psycho a Gunmart Engage. Luckily for the party, I rolled a 1.
Yeah. When an explosive hits anything, even something as big as a Cyber Psycho, it hurts a lot. Like.
But the best part about the Cyber Psycho, though, really, the Gunmart Engage didn't do much to it. It really did not. But I also had a piss poor roll.
I was about to say, I'm like, yeah, sure. If you roll like 8 1s, then it won't do much. But like, the odds are, the average, I think, on 8d6 is what, 28? I mean, that's a lot of damage.
So, with that in mind, you could take, like, using the Cyber Psychos, in my opinion, Cyber Psychos in Night City, they're a good way to throw, like, if you think things are, like, the party, like, everything's slowing down and the party could probably handle it, throw one. Just throw it at them, because, Cyber Psychos don't care what schedule you're on. They'll just come, right out of the woodwork, and you just happen to be in their line of sight.
Yeah, no, that's Dallas said something that made me like really laugh, and this is something for all of you to take into account. I feel like this is good, solid advice here. Cyber snakes are fun on Bozo's kids. Nothing scarier than Art the Clown pulling out a very heavy club from their throat.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah. That's beautiful.
Hey kids, you want to see a magic trick?
Hey kids, watch this. Yeah, no, that's terrifying.
Unlocks their lower jaw and out it comes.
Yeah. Jesus, that's terrifying. I look legit. Cyber snakes are terrifying on their own. That's worse somehow. I don't like that.
What?
Give Bozo a gas jet arm. So much fun.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. What, you don't like the unlocking jaw?
It's more not so much the unhinged jaw, it's the yanking a club out through it afterward. That is terrifying. Just like dislodging a giant club from your throat and then swinging it at your enemies. Yay. That is No. Let's see. Whoa, it's the prodigal one. Oh yeah, talking about Gary. Cyberpsycho should be scary in a way that makes you wish you were dead. Yes and no. I don't necessarily agree with that. There are some cyberpsychos that should make you absolutely feel that way, though. Like the one in the book, in the core rule book, is one of those, in my opinion, where it's like this thing's bristling with weapons that you don't even like. You can't even see all the weapons it's using. It just, they're there. You know that they're there. Because all of a sudden there's like a pop-up grenade launcher coming out of his arm or whatever. And you're getting shrapnel in the face. But on the flip side, there are cyberpsychos. Like there's one that I won't spoil for those of you who have not played through it, but there's one in Tales of the Red Street Stories that makes a very good impression of like how to use cyberpsychos in a way that is not like that crazed, like ultra violent, wants to kill the hell out of you kind of way that they're typically presented. Not all cyberpsychos get violent. Some try to do things in a very different way, and they are literally just psychotic. They've lost touch with their humanity, and or they've forgotten some horrible things that they've done. And it's just great because they act like normal people otherwise. No, you mean a cyberpsycho solo? You pissed off? You'll and we'll find you and anyone you care about. Yes, that's a great cyberpsycho to use sometimes. Every now and then, just dropping. We will always have a joke, and I'm sure this is a common table joke for anyone who's played D&D. But it's, yeah, remember, I'm the god here. I can make rocks fall and all of you die. Cyberpsycho is the rock in Cyberpunk.
And also on top of that, like, not all cyberpsychos are, unintelligent, rage machines, like, Emmerron mentioned. I mean, hell, one of my parties, neither party knows who's who at this point, because I've kind of got a few that might be questionable for this. Has encountered a cyberpsycho that they a very high cool cyberpsycho. You can't tell. They seem to have it together. Like,
yeah.
Like they like I like, you can see some cyberpsychos be a little bit more manipulative, where that's kind of how they act instead. They're just really good at doing what they do, but they have really no they have no inhibitions about just being like, yeah, I think that would be fun. Let's go send a strike team out after the party. Yeah, that's fine. Do that.
Paint the streets with their gore, please.
And put it on tape. I need something to watch especially later when I'm lonely. Yeah, yeah, that's what the psycho in question is like. They've watched one too many XBDs, and it's not enough for them. Look, they just, the office life gets a little boring for them, so they want to know what it's like out there. Also, Emmerron, while I go on my little rant here, I need you to go over to memes and go watch the video I tagged you in. Just go watch it. This is a reference to the conversation earlier. But anyway, folks, we've talked about the cyberpsycho. Everybody likes using cyberpsychos. They are a great boss. However, there's also other ways that you could possibly apply boss level characters. And what I mean by boss level characters is, I mean characters that have a really high rank, but not only that, they have the economy, and they also have they might just happen to have like all the right kinds of resources to be able to just cause you to have a terrible day. There's
a great example of that. Well, I think you're probably going to talk about them. The one in Danger Gal. We think about the same person.
She is a mini boss, but I could see her being very much a like she would count for this matter. We looked at N54's Fiona Hayes, or another person that's mentioned in another story, Barbara Dahl. Two really big faces for N54 who happen to have a lot of influence over people.
Fiona's classed as a boss, not a mini boss.
Oh, is she a boss? Okay,
she's a full. That's why I point to her.
A hardened mini boss for some reason.
No, she's a full boss. And that's why I point to her immediately whenever we have a discussion on boss monsters in the game, because bosses can take all kinds of shapes, and Fiona Hayes is the face of Night City in a lot of ways where the news media is concerned. So like, if you piss her off or she has a reason to come after your party, you might not be shot at by her, but she'll inspire some people to come shooting at you, and they won't stop until she's dealt with. Like, and I don't mean kill her. Killing her is probably the worst thing you could do. You've got to do the hard thing and socialize with her. Maybe go on her fucking news show and interview with her and explain why she should stop. Like, in the most public-facing way possible. Like,
or, you know, when she starts asking heavy-hitting questions and, you know, you just don't have a good answer. You don't have a good way to tell her why you killed that person. Because she knows that you did it. She will find out. Because 100%. Like with a rank 6 media, let me pull up roles here just to see who the hell Fiona has on speed dial as a rank 6 media. All right, media, page 151, at credibility rank 6, major city players, city politicos, and local celebrities. And then further down, you know, corp execs, gang honchos, well-known people in the neighborhood. It really wouldn't be hard for her to be able to stretch out even further to possibly getting, possibly punching up. But, you know, being able to just simply tap on people such as Wood Chipper or Rex Royale or Rogue for information, like that, or, you know, Lucius Rhine. Because, Mayor Ryan used to be, you know, a leader for Watson at one point.
Yeah.
So you have that aspect. The media that just will not get you out of the view of the camera. They can be irritating, especially if they're protected by a corporation. Emmerron. What other bosses do we have out there?
I mean, I would say, so the nice middle ground is when you encounter bosses that are kind of, they straddle the middle line of like someone who is more socially leaned, right? Like Fiona Hayes. A great example of this would be like Max Hammerman. He would probably be a boss, and he's probably capable of kicking your ass like hard and like murdering you if need be. But he also is more likely, I think, to lean socially, right? Like he's a cop at the end of the day. So like he's a lawman, so he can make things hard for you because he runs Max Tack. Read Max Hammerman, see what he did there. On the other side, you've got, he runs the most powerful solo force in probably the whole city. Everyone under his command is probably a boss in their own right. So it's pretty terrifying. I would not want to be in the way of Max Hammerman if I were an edge runner. That is the last person I'd want to piss off.
Another person, they're more classified as a hardened mini boss, but I'm surprised they're not actually just a boss level character, is Crab Lord. Crab Lord,
yeah, I mean,
they don't have.
I'm gonna pull them up.
They are 4 levels Netrunner, 2 levels Tech.
That makes sense. Why then?
But you know, classified as an urban legend as well. You have you know, a Netrunner that, you know, you could be, you know, minding your own business, and you wouldn't even notice it, and then suddenly, boom, all the shit that was in your network gone. Like boss level netrunners would be are also another
well, because
scary thing.
that's what I was exactly going to say about Crablord is the reason he's not a boss is because he's only got interface 4.
Fair.
If he had interface 6, then he would be, because that's like I've been trying to express this, and I think that my work in Neon Inferno is it's got a good series of examples for why this is the case. But like, if you encounter a rank 4 netrunner in a network, and you are a rank 4 netrunner, you stand a pretty good chance to beat them, right? Like, it's not going to be easy, but you'll probably live. Meanwhile, if you're a rank 4 netrunner and you encounter a rank 6 netrunner, the rank 6 netrunner is going to kill the hell out of you. There won't even be a competition. Yeah, that's how much that 2 points matters.
They don't even have that 4th net action yet. They just have a big old +2 over the top of you.
+2 is huge in net running. It's insane how good that is.
This past Wednesday, when Black Vulture, the net runner that started attacking Devil Dude, she's only rank 5. She's running circles, dropping hellbolts on Devil Dude.
Yeah.
But also on top of that, like boss level net runner, like a rank 6 net runner, like most control nodes, like the toughest ones tend to be DV14. So like, what would you have to roll on a dice? Like what? Just
against a DV14, you said? With a rank 6 netrunner, you need to still roll a 9.
Yeah.
Like, that's not easy to hit a DV14.
But
it's doable though.
I imagine at rank 6, you'd probably also be packing enough hardware and programs to make it so much easier to do so.
Well, yeah, because DVs are contextual, obviously. Yeah. Like, a DV14 password is less of a challenge than a DV12 control node in a lot of cases. Because that password you can hack with a worm. Control nodes have no boosters.
And you're probably fighting a demon for it as well.
Well, yeah, you're probably fighting a demon for it. And you're probably using like a bit of luck to make any contest with that demon in the first place. So it's a challenge, right? I would say that anything that has a booster, any net action, I should say, that has a booster that overcomes an obstacle, those obstacles are softer than the ones that have no boosters. That is, even if the DV is like 2 less, it's still insanely difficult.
However, for like most like really like low budget networks, a boss level netrunner will just like, you hide your stuff behind like, maybe even just a DV8 password.
Yep.
That boss level netrunner is going to chew through your net architecture like it's nothing. Especially if they got some Speedy Gonzalez to get past your black ice. Get down to the bottom and drop a nice little sysadmin virus. I mean, you're cooked.
Yeah. Even the crazy thing is, even on a DV8 at rank 4, all you got to do is roll a 5 up.
Yep.
And that assumes no boosters 50-50. Or luck. That just is. You roll a 5 up, it's better than a 50-50. You've got a 60% chance of hitting it. Yeah, it's better than a coin flip, which is like, that's really, really good for just starting out. That's crazy. And it only gets better every rank you go up, or if you have a booster. Like, it's just, because I just got together with our new player that's going to be joining us in Neon Inferno Season 3 last night, and kind of did a tutorial net run with him so he could get a feel for how the system worked. And he's like, oh, now this is all making sense. And he's starting to understand like how the dice odds work and things like that. And it's like really important to kind of understand how that plays when you're running a net runner, just because it's very like, it really lets you contextualize like how durable a system's security is. It also lets you see exactly how batshit crazy a rank 9 netrunner is.
Oh my gosh.
Rank 9 netrunners can just get in wherever they fucking want to.
Rank 10 netrunners, five fucking rolls every round.
Oh, 5 net actions unless you just, I mean, at that point you just run a hummingbird anyway, because it's like, what boosters are you even going to use? Like, you just run a hummingbird, get 6 net actions, and say, yeah, rank 4, I'm lapping you in my first round. Like, we're not on the same level anymore.
And then, if you just want to double up on it, like 5 to 6, and then if your netrunner happens to enjoy some drugs, a little 6 gun, and then it's 7 net actions around.
Yep.
So
it's good.
Yeah. One of the other things I would like to look at as well. High rank nomads.
Oh yeah.
High rank nomads have access to some shit that like most other people, like I think all other roles just don't have access to. And that is
vehicles.
And these vehicles come with some great firepower as well. So, like, let alone, while we do that, like, looking at, like, rank 6 nomads, sure, you have all the upgrades that, nomad could get for their vehicle. They could just, create, the murder wagon real quick. But if we go over to Black Chrome, a rank 6 nomad, right out the gate, when they become rank 6, rank 7 would allow them to get the Dayton TDT 004, which is the transport helicopter. At rank 6, they can get the Zetatech Destination Aerodyne. It's a 4-seat AV. It's basically a little station wagon on or not quite the big station wagon, but it's like a little commuter car on jets. Trying to think, what other vehicles can they also get?
Like rank 10?
Rank 6. I'm trying to think. They can even get the Artemis at rank 6.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount that nomads get at rank 6. The real thing to keep in mind is that there are some weapons. I forget which one it was, but there was one. I think it's a rocket launcher that you actually use pilot air vehicle to fire it.
The Militech Archimedes.
Yeah, there we go. If you have an Archimedes and you have a nomad to use it, it's insanely good because they just get a bonus on the check to fire it because they've got moto. So, like, if you ever want to do a nomad boss, give them that and you're basically set.
And a rank 6 nomad, they're cut above the rest. Because being a rank 10 nomad, that puts you on par with people like Santiago. So you're well above the common rabble of your family. So a few more responsibilities, but access to much more powerful vehicles.
Yeah. Well, and I'm wondering, because it's not listed in the nomads, it's not listed in the nomads rank up track. But I've got a question, Diamond. Would you allow, if by some miracle before a campaign ended, a nomad was able to achieve rank 10, like that's all they spent their IP on forever, right? Would you allow them to get access to a Delta?
Ooh.
To a Delta 4. For those of you unfamiliar, the Delta 4 space plane is a Mach 6 jet beast that can literally go to orbit.
Well, the problem is like the Delta is kind of like one of those vehicles that sits kind of outside the main grouping.
Sure.
Because like, what are the large vehicles a Nomad can get? Let me check here.
The biggest is probably the freight train, which for those of you unfamiliar,
can they get
it's
the train?
The mega hauler they can.
Oh,
which is basically a train. Yeah.
Now to understand, like that is a semi truck that's been beefed up to be able to pull 3 trailers.
Yes,
but
more than that. I think Delta, it can pull more than that.
I don't know if I don't know if the Delta Jock would, the Delta Force space plane would even be able to. I don't know. I feel like you might have the opportunity to try to get your hands on one. You
Fair.
know, like you have you've built enough connections. Amongst the nomad nations that you'd be able to catch wind of where one might be.
Right. I mean, you could probably get a seat in one if need be, kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the Tetracorp America Mega Hauler, just in case anyone wants to look at it. It's Black Chrome page 79. It requires Nomad Access 10. This is what all great nomads strive for. It's so cool. I love that thing every time I see it.
Like three cargo containers. I'm looking at that. It's just like, is that just a mobile home for like 6 people?
Because let me see, you can manage up to. Oh, it can manage up to 3 cargo containers. Damn. I was hoping it could haul even more and just be like, I'm big.
I mean, that's 6 people's worth of living space. That's 3 cargo containers worth of storage. Yeah, it's big.
Dude, wait, hold on. Think of, okay, here's concept, right? You are the nomad leader of a band of, we would say, circus performers on the cover sheet to make it palatable to the masses. In reality, it's a cult. Your whole cult has their housing across a mega hauler's 3 cargo containers that have all been like hella tech upgraded, basically, so that they've got all the amenities that you could ever want, right? It's not like normal cargo living. It's got showers, it's got nice beds, it's got like a full kitchen in one of them. That would be so sick. Like, that'd be so sick.
Oh my goodness.
You have to
admit. Militech Catalyst, you're right. A rank 10 solo can put 10 points into precision with. Well, you can put 9. You get a +3.
Yeah, precision attack is 3 to 1.
Yep.
So you put 3 awareness points, combat awareness points in, and you get 1 bonus point out for hit. That's why it's so limited, because then you never get more than a +3. But that +3 stacks in with things like excellent quality, smart links. If you're aim shotting from far away, yeah, you got target scope, you've got sniper scopes. I mean, like, you can plus like a mofo, basically. You can get it down to a point where you could just be like, cool, here's my plus like 5 to hit, and also it's a smart round, so here you go. Like,
but yeah, if you look at, like nomads though, like a rank 6 nomad also has access, like if they decide to just load up onto their vehicle specifically. Some of the heavier hitting stuff that they would have access to load onto their vehicle, of course, is the Tsunami Arms Helix, or the Rheinmetall EMG 86, or the Militech U-56 Cowboy grenade launcher.
Yep.
So you got that. You could just have a rocket pod put onto your car. Let's see. What? I mean, at rank 7, they could turn their car into just an AV. Also, their vehicles are very hard to get into. You are dealing with someone that will catch you. You are not going to outrun them. I don't care how fast you are on those little roller skates of yours, hyperdrive. The nomads will catch you.
Yep.
I mean, I only make
even
that
at
joke.
Even at rank 5, we already have a nomad in our current group for the Tales of the Red campaign that I'm running, and like, I mean, just having that helix is insanely powerful.
Oh yeah,
it's very good. It's just here's a free helix, like, cool.
Let's see what other roles. You know, I suppose one that we just need to take into consideration. The exec. I understand, you know, like, yeah, execs are always like, you know, the big bads of, you know, a lot of cyberpunk plots. But let's just do a quick breakdown on some of the stuff execs could get as like a boss
Well, they
level
got
character.
teamwork. They got teamwork for one. And
Yep.
at rank, I think it's 7, they unlock the ability to have a third teammate.
That's rank 9.
So, is it 9?
Yep.
Ooh.
Rank 7 is when they get a Beaverville house. However, at rank 6, if you so much as seriously wound or critically injure an exec, you better hope that you are ready to deal with Trauma Team, because Trauma Team comes in upon that.
Yeah, that's the real danger, I think, of execs once they're boss level. Because I don't really care about the Beaverville house, whatever. I mean, unless they're castling in there, it's not really going to come into play for a group of players fighting one as an enemy. Rank 8 is what then for them? Do they just upgrade their housing again?
Rank 8, Trauma Team Executive.
Oh, that could be worse. Okay.
Their mansion comes in at rank 10.
That's what it is. Okay. Because so then players, this is what you're up against when you fight an exec, right? They're gonna have 2 teammates, probably. Because you're probably not fighting a rank 9 exec, right? So they're probably not gonna have a third teammate. But you're up against at least 2 teammates, probably. Because if they're at least rank 5, they're getting that. You're gonna deal with Trauma Team if they're a boss, because that's automatically rank 6. If your GM's mean as fuck, at rank 8, they've got hardened Trauma Team basically coming for your ass.
Basically, Trauma Team with some expedited, as I'd see it.
Well, they come faster, and I would imagine if you're at executive level like that, they're gonna come like fully bearing heat. Like it's not gonna be like piddly little Trauma Team like what's described in the book. You're probably gonna get all of those hardened. Like it's not gonna be fun for you.
4-2 comes in.
Pretty much. It's not gonna go well.
I'm gonna take a moment here because I think I'm gonna do a quick check here. You actually deal with yep, you do deal with a boss level exec in the future. At some point you'll find out if you do Hope Reborn, you'll find out. You'll be dealing with a boss level exec. But like also on top of that, maybe this exec has decided that they need more bodyguards than anything else. Both bodyguards are going to be using handguns and have plus 14.
But remember when I said before that like bosses effectively have almost no limit on the amount of budget that they're given? Like execs are that times 10 because they have capital P privilege as their rollability basically. So they've got money and money and money, and their corp, if they're that high up, probably pays quite a lot and invests quite a lot into keeping them alive. So GMs, feel free to punish the hell out of your players if they decide to go after a high rank exec.
And you know, in the case, you know, in the pocket, in case somebody ever really felt froggy about it, I have Mashiko Sanderson as, you know, someone that I keep in the back pocket.
Which is the weakest rank 10 roll? That is a great question, Prepper Jack. I would say probably. I mean, it's not Lawman, because Lawman gets all kinds of fucking crazy backup and stuff at rank 10.
You get guaranteed backup at that point.
Pretty much. I would think
that's a really tough one because like none of them really have like a strong, like a bad capstone at all.
I would say if we were being like, because it depends on like what we're evaluating strength versus weakness by. I think if you were just saying raw combat power in terms of like snap your fingers, get a bonus in terms of your combat power, probably it would be like, because I'm trying to think, I'm like, even it's probably honestly medtech.
Yeah.
Either medtech or nomad, because like nomads can get a nice big vehicle at rank 10, but unless you've souped it up right, it's not huge and it can be destroyed. So you can just lose your power bonus like pretty easy if you're not calling in something that's massive. And medtechs don't really get like a ton of extra power for hitting that rank 10. It's not like that unlocks like the world of privilege for them. They are a very broad class, not a very deep one in terms of like they aren't aiming for endgame power like some others are. They're instead just like broadening what they're capable of, which is good. Like if you're support, you don't really need to be offensive. But like if we're arguing for the sake of like, yes, I snap my fingers and someone disappears. Yeah, medtechs can't do that at rank 10.
Rocker Boys. That's one other one I wanted to point out. Rocker Boys have a certain, and you see it like happen during Cyberpunk 2077. You see what
it's just all of a sudden, can you feel that? And you're like, oh fuck, here we go. The tower's gonna explode again. It's just that's Rocker Boys once they hit rank 10.
Well, Rocker Boys, let alone at rank 6, they have a loyal posse that's always with them. They have 6 people that are just with them at that point. And one of my Rocker Boys has them. It's they classify their posse as their bandmates, and a couple of medias that they've befriended. And this one homeless man that they've called Shrimp Man, the Shrimp Man. That just to clarify. It all has to do with some synthetic shrimp. That's all it has to do.
I love it.
But
I love it.
Also on top of that, at a DV12 for a rank 6 Rocker Boy, large groups of fans will do a major favor for the Rocker Boy.
Yep.
And also you play at large important clubs, so you are put into a very bright limelight.
Yep.
Rank 7 and 8, 6 fans to help in a fight, and you have a rabidly loyal fan base. They fight rival fan groups, and they have a strong fan information network, and will band together to help the Rocker Boy.
So, any of you who are familiar with the culture of K-pop stans on Twitter will know very, very well exactly what this looks like when played out in reality. That is what Diamond just described.
Gosh, I remember one time I was working security at I'm not going to talk about what specific concerts, that way I don't dox myself.
Fair.
And some people had shown up that were not very happy about a certain performer performing at the venue.
Oh no.
Because, said performer, stood for things like, LGBT rights and, the, other kinds of choices that, a little more left-leaning. They come in there and, they're doing their thing. They're holding up signs, telling the performer to fuck off. And, I watch a brawl happen. I'm looking over at my buddy like, I don't know if I want to get in there. I don't think I want to get in there. I'm a little scared of what might happen if we go in there.
Well, because in those cases, you're like, would it actually help? And that's the fun part about high rank rockers in general. I think in the game is the people around you are always going to have that question who don't have a stake on either side, other than maybe security of the venue or whatever. Are they really going to get involved? Are you sure?
You have a private army basically by rank 10.
Well, rank 10, they mention this is what it is to be
Harry.
the lead. the leader of a nation, not Carrie. Now, I mean, Carrie's probably like rank 8, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know that we see any rank 10s anywhere. That's the thing. This is why like rank 10 is such a weird thing, right? Having anyone be rank 10 is like borderline impossible. It's like you are running either such a cult of personality in the case of the social classes at that point, or you are such a renowned killer in the case of being a solo. Like even Adam Smasher, one of the most renowned solos in the entire universe, is rated a rank 9 solo. He is not rank 10. So like that should tell you like that's the bar to clear. That's insane how high of a bar that is to clear.
So rank 9 probably would have been Johnny and Carrie back in the day.
I mean, Carrie now even still is rank 8 at least for sure. Like Carrie's up there. Because think about it. Carrie has fans who would fight other people for him.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a whole reason why like he can call in favors like he does in 77, and he's just like, yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna torch those stupid little bitches' car. We're gonna torch all their shit and we're gonna walk away from it and we won't have anything happen to us. And it's like, okay, Carrie, that's spicy as hell, my guy, but bet, let's do it. And then you do it and yeah, nothing happens. But he had to get those explosives somewhere. Some fan probably bought them for him. And I guarantee you, if he had mobilized his fan base against them, if he had gone full like mask off with that shit, he could have had us cracks probably killed. Like,
oh yeah,
full send. Like, so that's like a rank 8 one. Like he's not mobilizing a whole nation, which is where you start. When you start getting up into that 9-10 area, it starts getting really squirrely in terms of like what you're able to do.
Well,
yeah, he's barely remembered in 2077, even he did Nuke the City. Yeah, but he still played on the radio in 2077. That's the important thing.
Also,
he is still played.
If we really think about it, also, like in regards to that Prepper Jack, like a lot of things that happen in Night City, like, and it's even like talked about in the core rule book. What might be, here one day becomes like literally like, oh, that happened years ago when it only was on the news yesterday. Like,
yeah,
stuff does lose its, luster over time. So, yeah.
I think it's really, if you want a great example of like what the media culture of Night City is, think how short the attention span of people who regularly browse like TikTok or YouTube short content, and like, that's all they consume, and they burn like 3-4 hours a day in that state of just passing news constantly, right? I've spent days like that. When I look back at it, I'm like, that terrified me that was like, I just spent my day doing that. But that's every day in Night City for almost everyone. They are constantly just getting fed new information. Those scream sheets are updating every hour. New stories. You got to know about the latest shooting.
Yeah.
Know about the latest celebrity drama. Like it's
scream sheets.
Every fucking hour, you're just getting new shit. Like
actually, where is that?
Well, they talk about.
They do.
One example that I can point to that supports this is in.
Got it.
I was going to say in the CEMK rulebook, when we start looking at the humanity rule overhaul, the update we got, it mentions spending most of your time in a city because you have information overload. It's like too much for you to continuously like manage in a healthy, like mentally healthy way. So that's one thing. But yeah, please. Give us the deets.
Like in the time of the 2040s, scream sheets have many advantages over previous newspapers. You can dial a news box to print only the sections of the paper that you want, paying 0.1 eddy per page printed. New editions can be compiled in hours. Yep. To understand newspaper, like as someone who does read the newspaper, okay, I read the newspaper. I'm 25. I still read the newspaper at work because it shows up. Newspaper shows up maybe once, twice a week. Okay?
Yep.
Once or twice a week in our time, in our timeline here in 2024. When, we can also just get news, from the TV, from our phones, from the radio. Here, in a matter of hours, you suddenly now have just a whole new edition of the Night City Times in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
so
you probably have like a morning, afternoon, and
6
evening
a.m.
edition of the paper
So,
every single day.
6 a.m. for your morning commute and breakfast, 12 p.m. for your lunch break, 5 p.m. for that commute home, 10 p.m. to read before you go to bed, and then it just starts over and over and over.
Scroll, baby, scroll.
Imagine
keep doing it.
How fucking thick that paper is at 6 a.m. because it has hours to sit there and compile.
Well, see, the thing is, it'll just overwrite it. It'll just rewrite the whole thing and be okay, cool. Those stories, that's 6 hours old. That's old news now.
Oh, there's
the latest.
There's an update on that one, and go on. Like, holy shit.
There's Diamond. Are you familiar at all with the band Tool? Like, is that a band you listen to?
I listen to Tool.
Vicarious.
Yep.
It just, that song is like, any of you in the audience who have not listened to Tool Vicarious, it is like, it's not metal, it's like heavy rock, I would say, but like it's if you listen to the lyrics and you pay attention to the meaning of the song, it's a nightmare. Like, it describes a nightmare, and the fact that we're all living in like that nightmare and we're okay with it. We actually like it. Like, that's the point that the song makes.
Actually, that I know we're talking about bosses, and you're like, what does the newspaper have to do with this?
Progressive metal. Yeah, thank you, Pepper Jack.
Rocker boys and medias, again, like why, and also execs, of course, have the ability to influence this. Literally, in a matter of hours, your reputation could be tanked.
Yep. Well, on Icarus, are scream sheets just auto-updating borderline disposable Kindles?
Yes.
Kinda. See, yeah, they kinda are. Like, because you can keep the same scream sheet for as long as it functions, basically. But yeah, I mean, I would imagine that there's some, especially like the richest people within society, probably would just, like, they're done reading it, okay, just drop it in the bin. And like, fill that landfill, baby. That's capitalism on repeat every day. Like, but that's the thing. Most people just get it on their agents anyway. So like, why would you bother with like the lenticular or whatever that they printed on? Like, just get fucking, like, get it on your agent. Like, Why are you still subbed to paper newspaper? Get it on your fucking phone. Get your newsletter every morning. Consume. That's the media landscape of Night City. That's why we say people like Fiona Hayes, to get back on topic with bosses. That's why we say medias are so scary at boss level, because they are the ones pushing that multiple times a day churn. And if you're in there in a not good way multiple times in a single day, holy fuck, is that a bad deal for you? Like, that is so terrifying.
I almost forgot. Boss level techs. Oh, those guys are scary, especially if they're like invention focused. Just, it's just like, let me shit out murder maker 9000 here for you real quick, and use it against you. Just, casually producing, like, they have to follow the time constraints, but just the ability to produce shit that could possibly be a problem for you down the road is nuts.
Well, and I would refer back to Adam Smasher that I mentioned a little while ago, because when we talk about quintessential boss mobs, do you know what Adam Smasher would be without the good techs at Arasaka? Fragile. Do you know what he isn't because of them?
A brain and a backpack.
No, he's more than that. That's what he'd be without them.
That's what he was. He got thrown into a backpack and hauled off to Arasaka. And like techs, especially in the time of the Red, because of like everything that they know. Fixers. I know we're kind of like coming down to the end of it, and I know we went on a tangent, but there's a reason for the tangent. Because also on top of that, of course, the city itself is a boss monster you will not defeat. But like rank 6 fixers. I am playing one right now. Rank 6 fixers could speak 5 other languages alongside their native language. They get along with like gangs and know the locales of all their neighbors. So if they don't know who you are and you're on their turf, you are you may have questions you have to answer to them. Their ability to haggle, like if they're trying to buy shit off of you, they are likely going to get a 10% discount. Also on top of that, like their ability to source things for night market, fantastic. They will find it, and if you're the one that pissed them off, they will find the good talent to send them after you.
Well, and to give a closing thought on here's how you can cultivate a boss. Like I said, thing 1, get Danger Girl Dossier. It has the guidelines for making them if you want them to be quote unquote balanced. At a point, we throw that out the window. But if you want to pretend to be fair and impartial to your party, you're going to want those guidelines. The second thing, pay attention to, there's a couple of key sections in every player's life path. The first to look for is, do they have enemies? If the enemy has a reach that is a whole government or a whole corporation, they are very likely one of the people we are talking about here. All right. The second thing that I want to add to that is, even if your player has no stated enemies, every role life path that has a question at the end. Who is gunning for you? Now, gunning for you doesn't necessarily mean that they want to kill you outright. You know, like that's not entirely what the shtick is, right? That they might be just trying to recruit you. But I think it was who said that just now, a little bit ago in the chat. Culture Nerd. Or no, not Culture Nerd. Hold on, where was it? There was someone that mentioned being rank. There it is, Militech Catalyst. Militech Catalyst mentioned that like once you're basically rank 8+, any corporation worth their salt either wants you working for them or they want you out of the way because you present a very existential type of threat. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably fair. And the place that that's going to come from is from your player's role specific life path, where there's a question of who's gunning for you. Whoever that is, as you get to be a higher role rank, they want you more and more and more. And as long as you continue living and getting better, they are going to want that capability on their side. And as the old saying goes, if you're not with me, you're against me. And they will take that very personally. So GMs, have fun with that one.
So, yeah. On that note, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the link below to go to Emmerron's channel for part 2 of the episode. Check us out on StartPlaying, and also, of course, check us out on Twitch. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I think we are in a good spot to probably move on to the next episode. So,
the next topic.
Or next topic of episode 30 of Wireheads. And also, don't worry, I was shit posting about making Wireheads the flamethrower. We're not going to make Wireheads the flamethrower.
We aren't?
Well, at least not IRL.
Oh man.
Look, it's not in the budget. But until then, folks, we'll see you on the other half of the episode.
Come to my channel, please. Unless you're on Spotify, in which case, just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. Till then, folks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.